Good evening, everyone. My name is Usma. I welcome you all for the third masterclass of IBM SkillsBuild internship program. We are very happy to have you all on our third masterclass. Today, we will be learning more about front-end web development technical concepts. So please stay till the end. Today, we have our speaker, Mr. Lavish. Sir, let us first give a little intro of Lavish sir. He's currently working as software development engineer at Clearwater Analytics. He has experience of more than 5 years in IT industry. He has worked in different technological domains like desktop apps, data engineering, and web development. We welcome you, sir, for our third masterclass, and we are very grateful that you have given us your precious time for the students of this internship. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Usman. I guess. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third masterclass. So in the last masterclass, we had learned about the front-end development, learned about CSS and user responsiveness. Today, masterclass would be likely to be more on the deep dive about the UI UX planning and designing. We will be going through some of the psychologies, how what should be the process, and then we will getting started with the Figma designing and everything. And at the end of the there would be a Q&A. For Q&A, you all can post on a Slido, which I have posted on a chat, the Slido link. Okay. Um, so let me know once my screen is visible. Okay. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Uh,
So,
sure. Okay. So let's get started with the today's masterclass. Uh, so as I told you, for this masterclass, we will be covering up the UX, UI design about it. We will be discussing about how does human make decisions and what all UX designers, UI designers should consider. We will be talking about the wireframes, prototyping, and Figma. So this is the QR code you all can scan from your mobiles. We'll wait for a few seconds over here. Or I have also posted the same link on the chat. So if you have any doubts regarding the front-end web development or this masterclass, generic doubts, you can put it over the Q&A section and we'll happy to take them. Okay. Uh, just checks up. My voice is clear, right? Just checking up with my voice.
yes, your voice is audible and the sheet is also audible.
Sure. Thank you. So let's get started. Uh, let's talk about the UI UX designs. Okay. So first of all, we will talk about the UI design. So basically, what is your UI? UI is just a short form of user interface. A user interface is nothing. It's just how your website, mobile application, desktop applications look like, and to which the user is going to react or interact with. Okay. UI design consider like includes mobile app, desktop applications, web applications. Nowadays, the smart watches also are considered in the UI designs. Okay, so this is just a simple interface provided to the user through which it connects with your machine, like your software, your business uh, dashboards and everything. So this is just an interactive interface which is visible to the user on their devices over the internet, might be downloading the app or something like that. And then a user can do some interaction, like we have multiple examples. This is a fitness track up shown on the slide, where you can see how much you have run biking, and what you have done in teams you are included, steps you have done. And such applications are Facebook, Instagram, we have Zoom is also have their user interface. So everything which is interactable is considered in the UI designs. Okay. Secondly, we have UX designs. UX is the user experience. First, we talked about the UI designs. Means how means the user is going to interact, and this is how he's going to feel like once he comes up on your website. Like, what's the experience he's getting? Like, this is a Nike's website on a sales day. So he's how it feels. What is the product visible to him? What all data he's grabbing from your website, and it also plays an important role uh, while the user is on the your website, because it's the where the user conversion takes place. Conversions means it comes to your website, buys a product, pays for it, means, and becomes your customer. Okay, from user to customer conversions takes place. We might have multiple examples out there for these things. We have dedicated uh, we have dedicated websites for the mobile app. Sorry, by mobile app means for the mobile products, like when you are Samsung, Realme, and phones, they have a dedicated websites, and whenever they launch a new product, they clearly shows what they are giving to you, what all features, their designs, uh, means every angle, every sidebar, left bar, screen size, how it's going to look, and the gaming consoles and everything. So this is the user experience you have. When you interact with a shopping website, you go from top, there is a top uh, recommended products for you, the top choices of the day, top choices of the week, something like that. So these are also considered in user experience, which helps a user to make a decision on their website, on their purchases, or while they are interacting with your product. Okay. So this is the basics of it. Now let's talk about the design. So all those three words, UI, UX, and designs, are all to have their own meanings. Okay. Design is a unique representation of your product. Like, if you are creating a weather application, as I have posted a UI design of a weather application, it shows when it's raining, when it's thunderstorm, it's a sunny or cloudy day or something like that. And it includes, the design includes the smallest thing, the icons, the bigger images, how is your button look like, where is going to be settings, where is going to be the customization options, and everything such like. Okay. There, like, there's a good website out there which is called Type Forms, for the forms. Okay, which has their very good design out there. They provide a one by one field out there, like once you enter your name, then the second field will pop up, will say what's the next question is out there, right? uh so this is how the things goes up in the design interface. If someone has any questions, you can post on Slido or over the chat. Okay.
Sir, some students are facing a sound problem.
uh okay, let me check it once again, just give me a second. Okay. Okay, so it should be clear my sound. Okay, okay. Uh, Now let's get back to the design again. Just a heads up, today's masterclass would be more of regarding the discussion of the psychologies of the UI UX designs. We will be going through the Figma. So just a heads up. And if you all want to discuss something on the end, like a particular thing, you can post it on a Slido. We'll try to cover it up for you. Okay. Will the next thing is, as I talked about the different designings. So design is the actual implementations of the product. Okay, so that's what we are talking about. Now let's understand the human decision making. These philosophies are used while we are having a lot. Let's say when you're creating a UI design or UX design. I know this is somewhat not so standards, but yeah, this is a recommended things which you should all know before designing a UX UI. Okay. Uh, so let's get started with this. Just a second. Okay. Uh, in this, we are going to talk about the cognitive process of decision. The human decisions we make decisions based on the analyzing the information, what are alternative options we have, what are the preferences, what are our goals, what we want at the end from the product. So when you open up an internet and search for a thing, you have such a list of options like goals, checkpoints, which you have to cover for making a decisions. Okay, so there are two different models, or the, let's say, points like factors which are influencing the decision making. First is the cognitive biasness. Cognitive biasness is depending on the different informations you have from your surroundings. Someone has provided you a piece of bit of information, or you have some beliefs. This is based on cognitive biasness, which you make the decisions. Second is the emotions. Means how you are feeling, like when you open a website, is it making you feel positive or negative? So emotions also plays an important role while making the choices. Like, let me give you an example of what an emotion. If you open a product like on Amazon or something, the images are not clear, or the images of a, like, let's make of a phone. You are buying a mobile phone. If the ports side image is not available about a phone, or the front camera uh, is not available on the phone or something, the image of the sidebar where the switch on or off buttons are not available, so you might not buy that product because the images which are available does not qualify or does not make you feel confident about it. Okay. And another thing which helps us in making, like, if you have a lot of information on a single page, we might get confused and we might not be able to make a good decision, or we might skip that thing, right? So these are the things which are important while we are making the decisions. See, this is to be known when we are making UI UX design. So how you are going to use it? When you talk about the cognitive biasness, so you should provide information about your product on a page website. Let's say we are going to talk lots of about today on the shopping or the e-commerce website. So let's again take up same product, the mobile phone. You should provide the information, which is the screen size, the mobile networks available on it, the SIM slots, the processors and CPUs. So provide the information which helps the users to make the informed decisions. Okay, provide all the important images, videos about the product, which makes the user helpful, or like makes him happy about, like, yeah, there's all the details available about that product for on the website, right? For the information overload, don't make like you are writing a description about it from product. Don't make such things. Make it bullet points, make it something like that. So when you design a website, so what I'm going to say, when you design a website, only include the informations like a image, the name, a small description in the bullet points for a product in a e-commerce websites. Okay. Then we can talk about the decision making. Similarly, first are the factors which influence the decision making, and there are different models which is used. So UX design, when we talk about the compensatory model, non-compensatory model, and satisfying model. Okay, these are three models which helps us to create a UX which makes helps the user to make a decision. Okay, so when we talk about the compensatory models, you should provide a, like, if your website have, we were talking about the e-commerce website, right? So you should provide the functions like compared to products, uh, to provide the add on the filters which makes helps them to narrow down their search. Okay, so such functionality should be there on your website. Another thing is when we talk about non-compensatory model, which helps the users to make a good informed decision, highlight the part you want to make, the key features, the key highlights, top most recommended product or most buy product, most choose product, such things for a product which helps the user to make an informed, like this is the most used or most asked product out there on their website. Okay, and the I was talking about satisfying, it's all about the providing the data which is important for a user to make a decision. Like we were talking about the product where we are going to provide all the images to it, the top choices, what are the reviews of a website product available out there. So these are some human decisions you should like, this is what a human considers before making a informed decisions. So uh, I'm going to talk about, there are two types of things. One is the framework, and another thing is the buzzwords which a user clicks or follows when he or she visits your website. Okay, so there are multiple frameworks out there like BJ Fox, Step and Wendell, Spectrum of Thinking, and Dual Process Theory. I'm not going to go deep dive, but we'll cover two of these: BJ Fox and Stepwell's Create Action Funnel. BJ Fogg was a psychologist from Stanford. He said include three parameters: motivation, ability, and triggers. Okay, what motivates a user to buy a product? Secondly, okay, which helps the users to buy a product is the financial, the audience you are targeting, the finance they have, the power capabilities they have. You should check their on abilities. You should provide if you are talking about the e-commerce, you should have a filter of the pricing and such and so forth things. So all those stuff should be available on your website when you are creating a UX design or UI design for it. Okay, when triggers, when a user is going through your product, you should give some pop-ups. You might provide some of the like, this is a flash slide, or there's a like price of the day for you, this is just an offer for you, which triggers their actions. So this is the frameworks which you could use to create a UX design. So these are some of the thoughts you should provide or put in before creating a mm, UX design, or the like thought, if your user is comes on my website. Okay, what he's going to see for, he's going to check for the top choices of a product which are being bought for the day, or what are considered in a particular category of such things. Okay, uh, so we have another thing is the buzzwords which we look out for. There are nudge theory, persuasive technologies, behavioral designs, behavioral science, and behavioral economics. All those are revolve around the same thing, like the choice architecture, default, social proof, like providing the reviews, newsletters, or something like that. Timely like nudge theory has some points when you are designing the UX. It has a timely intervention. You ask from a user like, okay, are you willing to buy this product? We have some or similar products for you. You might give a pop-up like, okay, here's a chat section, if you need a help, you can ask our agents directly. So all these factors you should consider, like how to make the user more interactive with the website while designing it, okay, or while making a UI which makes a user more interactive with your website and engaging with it. Okay, so this is the thing which you considered. I just get it like covered it in a very brief manner, but yeah, these are some of the thoughts you should put in up. Okay, we will now talk about the wireframes for the UX design. Okay, UI UX, before creating it, we should generally put up the wireframes up. Wireframes are just visual representation of your website. They don't include the images or text. It just shows how which element, how the functionality is going to work upon, and how it's going to look like. Okay, basically it's just a rough sketch for a user interface and how it's going to like how user is going to interact it with. You might put a black ink or something, just draw it on a paper and make it as a first frame design of your website. Okay, let me give you an example. This is a website, very basic blog website or something like that, where user comes up on the right hand side. You can see this is the for the tablet view and the mobile view. It says about the name of the website might be here, a small description, and if he comes for a blog website on our page, they might sign up for a newsletter. So we are giving a basically a box, input box, to put their name, email, and submit button. Then we will put up an image over here, which will be describing about our concepts, some text about what are the features we provide on our blog website, or what all things we are adding to their life if they read our blogs. The key feature we might try to highlight over here, and there's the process or the different blogs available. We might list them out there slowly in the bottom of our website. So this is a very basic wireframe. It doesn't include any images. It doesn't include anything apart from it. Let's say uh, text or something. It just shows us some boxes, means how my website is going to look, feel like, and this is, yeah, this is the all we have right now. Okay, on the website, and this is how users are going to interact, and then we can have a discussion, and then we can go for the coding part. So this is what I'll call wireframe. So I will take a stop over here for a minute. If you have any doubts, questions about, regarding the wireframes and something, you can go ahead and ask.
Hello, students. Please drop your queries in the chat box if you have any. Thank you.
Okay. So let's continue then. Okay. What should be the roadmap for the UI UX designer? Okay. Apart from understanding the user behavior, mm, uh, you can you should know about the designing, like prototyping. You should understand first of all you should understand the user behaviors, which I just talked about. Then you should go for the wireframe designings. Then you should learn for the prototyping using the different tools like Figma, Adobe XD, Sketch, or something. Then you should go for the best practices out there, the general practices, different screen size, and then lots more of the practice of the designing the UI. Okay. Okay. Some of the questions which just popped on the chat would the team would be more helpful to answer them, I guess. Okay. Let's move ahead then. Yeah, Figma is enough. Like these are alternative tools. Like you have Figma, Adobe XD, and the Sketch. But yeah, Figma is it can could be enough for the beginners. So you have more functionalities on Figma. Similarly, there might be some of the functionalities which are available on the Adobe might not be available on Figma. But yeah, uh, learning a tool is important when you're talking about the UI UX design. So we'll introduce Figma to you and we'll learn about the prototyping in this part. So first of all, what is prototyping? Okay, prototyping is the creating a brief of your or a sample of your application, web might be web, desktop, or mobile, which the product mm, can be used or can be tested. Its functionality can be checked upon. Mean it's not going to be a real coded product, but yeah, it would be a product which is means it's going to be similar representation of a product where the interaction, how it's going to user interact, what is visible to you or the user on your applications. Okay, it prototyping helps us to uncover the issues. Basically, I'm by meaning the issues is like if the user there's no setting button or the configuration, there should be a dark mode or the light mode, or there should be a lockout button. So if there such things are not included in your application by default, you can eradicate those bugs beforehand only in the designing phase, when before developing the UI for it. So that if a important functionality is missed out, like searching a search bar or login sign up, so you all should get it on the first hand, and then you can get started with the development phase. Okay, so there are two different types of prototyping: low fidelity and high fidelity. Low fidelity designs are designs where you take a pen paper and design on it, and it's easy to talk about, and you can get interact with the users. Okay, by meaning the users, you can put up your thoughts. This is a very basic covering all your functionalities. High fidelity designs include more like explained detailed designs where you means it's going to be a similar representation of your application. It includes the icons, the margins and everything. So high fidelity, I'm going to show you examples when I move to the hands-on part. The tools about for prototyping or wireframing is Figma, Adobe XD, Sketch, and there are a lot more tools out there, but these are some of the names out it. Okay. Uh, Now I'm going to sorry. Uh, Now we are going to go on the Figma and we'll share you some wireframes and we'll show you how to work with Figma around. Okay. Okay. Now. Okay. This is a Figma dashboard looks like. Okay. Uh, it has improved a lot nowadays, but what you can go is start with a Figma. Figma provides a space where you can make a design in it, and like there are lots of templates, diagrams, plannings, meetings. These are all types of templates available in Figma to get started with. We'll start with a basic design file. Okay, design file. There are now two things: Figma Jam and Figma Design. So jamming is just when you're having a discussion with your team or something. Figma Design is something where you create a app design or some or application design. Okay. Uh, Well, see, here is the this side shows the different layers of your layers by mean the um, elements you are going to put up in your design. These are going to be boxes, icons, and everything. And here would be the properties of that element. Okay, and here are the tools out there available on Figma. So let's say we want to create a box. This is a box of some size. Now let's make this a desktop app. Okay, this is a rectangle. I want to fill it with a white color. So I'm going to make a small website with a sidebar, nav bar, and some content in there. So we are going to talk about uh, how to make a wireframe or something. So before moving to making a some prototype over here, I want to show you what a wireframe is, and then I will show you a prototype, and then we will create one. Okay. So as you can see, I was talking about the wireframe. This is a website, very simple website out there, which shows a basic information about a photo application, which has its log on button or register button, we can say. Should be visible now. It has some features, like this is the nav bar having the features, pricing, and community links would be there on the website. Here would we run a video, put up a video. Okay. This is how we are going to show some mm, points about a photo website. Okay. Uh, there might be an image, description about that website or something, or tag. Uh, what all clients we have for the photo applications. If we have a contact us page or the newsletter page, we will give them a join today contact us button and a footer out of it. Okay, so this is a wireframe. Doesn't include the exact what is going to look like, but yeah, basic design with text, where the text goes, where the image goes, and everything. Okay, if we talk about these are the different navigations we can create for the same website. So I we can choose any of it for a website. So when I having a discussion with the team, I can show like we can go with the center links, or the side right hand side links, left side, or we don't show the login and register buttons at all. So these are the different wireframes we can talk about. If we have a community page or something like that, so different designs we can create and show it to the while we having a discussions of our websites, right? This is a wireframe. When we talk about the prototype, okay, so prototype is a exact, or we can say similar representation of your application. uh so this is a prototype of my photo mobile application. So this is how my first page is going to look like on the mobile. This is the register button. This is the login button. Okay, this is the discovery page or the main page or the home page of our website or mobile application. There would be different feeds, what's new today, what all images are available or the photos available. If I open up, how it's going to look like. If we search for it, this is the search bar available, the search talks. This is how the profile of our user would look like on our app. And we have some chat section and everything. Okay, so this is a similar representation. So you can see the difference between the wireframe and the prototype. Wireframe is just black and white, which is some boxes, some text to show how your website will look or will be designed. And this is a similar or a same concept of your website. Okay, or it's the real how it's going to look like. Okay, prototyping. So there is a big difference between it. There is a good functionality in Figma. Like when you create a prototype, you can create, make it as a mm, like interactive and show it how it's going to feel, look like, or how it's going to feel when you interact with the app. I'm going to close my eyes so that see. This is the front page I was talking about. If I click on the login, this is how my login is going to look on the mobile. If I click on the login. This is the discovery feed. I can interact and see there are multiple images. Click on one. This is the whole image is going to look like. This is the browse all available as I showed just now on the preview, sorry, prototyping. If we have chat box, if we want to chat, this is all the chats will look like. If I click on the particular chat, this is how you can chat. The search bar, if you click on the search, the docs, this is a docs image. If you click search, see more, there more images would appear. The user icon is user profile and something like that. Okay. So this is the prototyping out there. Now let's go ahead and create a small prototype for our website. Okay. This is a rectangular, or you can say a desktop page. Let's create a nav bar over here. Yeah. This is going to be a simple website. So let's have a text and say sample website. We'll have some of the navigations. Let's add some navigations here. One would be, I guess I missed something. Yeah, change it to home. Okay. Okay. We have home. We might have a contact us, navigation, or what we can have. Give me some ideas. What all should the navbar have? Sure, about us goes ahead. Okay. So now, this is the navbar. A navbar is this rectangular box. Okay. Let's make this move somewhere up or down. I have to use the move up. Move. Okay. This should be in over here. This should go over here. This should go over here. Okay. Now as you can see, we have a navbar. Now to make a layer, like say a component. So let's combine this thing and say it as a navbar. We have a group selection option. If I say I have grouped it, we'll rename this to as navbar. Okay. Move everything inside this. Okay. About us goes in the navbar. Home, sample website text goes in the navbar. This is a sample website. Now we are going to have an image. So let's create a again box. This would be our what we say, the user first interaction image or something. This image there would be a image out here. Okay, and there would be some text goes over here, some text, some heading. There would be another text, uh, heading, description. Okay, I want this heading to be of a big size, like say 20 font size, or let's increase the font size 40. Let's change the font to something cool. Figma hand. Up goes ahead. Heading description. Let's move this to somewhere down over here. It should be over here with some distances. Some heading goes over here with the normal font. Okay. The image goes here. I'm drawing just a line for now, because some image goes here. So and there would be some text out there. Let's see. So this rectangular box, rectangle 3, rectangle 4, some heading, some description or some vectors goes on the what we call it? We call this as mm, let's first of all group all this one. Okay. Let's call this welcome screen. Okay. So yeah, now if I move this all together, hide this out, so this helps me to know what's happening out there, and right. So this is how you can go ahead and create some designs. Here you can put up a heading where the margin lies, how the design and prototype is going to happen. Different designs you can create. This is just a small wireframe of a sample website I want to share with you all. So yep, uh, that's all with the designing and interacting with Figma. If you have any doubts around this Figma and everything, just ping me up. Mm, Someone asked me how you make image scroll horizontal or vertically in a single screen in prototyping. Mm, in prototyping, we design, we give a, if you see, we provide a screen size to it. Okay, when the prototyping happens, this whole prototype is bigger than the screen size. Okay, and it's also horizontally. If we see the discover and this thing, it's in a single prototype phase. When we click on this right hand side, the prototype button or the present view, we decide which mobile or desktop or the size screen it should show up. So if this is not visible in the same size, it makes all automatically scrollable. And another thing is you give it as a frames and you group them, so you know which direction you have to scroll it. So that's how it works. Okay. Uh, so now it's time for Q&A. Okay. Let's go and have some question and answers.
Students, if you have any query, please drop your queries in chat box.
if you all anyone is hesitant, uh, you can go and put it on Slido, because there you can put it as an anonymous. Okay. Uh, about the project submission, CSRBOX team will be help you out the format and everything. I have some of the questions over here on the Slido. Okay. Mm, just give me a second. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay, we have queries coming up in the chat box, and I do have some of the questions on the Slido. We'll start answering them one by one. Okay. Mm, so the first question comes up. Front end developer, how much it will boost our web app page design being in a UI UX developer? Yeah. So developing one and creating a design, both are, you can say, are different skill sets. Okay. But it will always boost, because you know how a button should be. If the my battery is draining, just give me a second. I am just putting it on the chart. Okay. So I was saying, it will help you out to give without get when you have a experience of UI UX development. It's going to help you out when you're creating a web page or getting started. It's always good if you know the basics of UI UX designing, like you know how much margin has to be put on a website, how should be the sneaky design it should have. Mm, what is most likely a user is going to click, a simple text or a button with a border out around it. Okay, so obviously it's going to always help you out in that case. Uh, so it always boosts your skill sets when you combine the development, the design, and designing with the coding part. Okay. uh, Media is used for responsive. How many media? I don't get your question exactly, but at the rate media you can use for different designing is like, you have some breakpoints, like 1024 decides this is a desktop, 768 pixels decide the screen size is 768, it decides it's a tablet view. If it's smaller than 536, it decides it as a mobile view. So you can put three media queries, 1024, 768, and 562 or something, which says this is the for different uh, pages or application. Okay, we have Figma or Adobe. Which platform is better? See, Adobe XD, in Adobe XD, you have to install it on your machine, whereas in case of Figma, it's available over the internet. So both have their pros and cons. Weigh accordingly, and then get started with it. In my case, I would recommend Figma to get started as a beginner. Someone has said horizontal and vertical scroll will use different frames, one for horizontal and one for vertical. Yep, that's true. You have to combine the vertical scroll and the horizontal scroll in different groups. If you're doing the horizontal scroll, That should be a one group, and vertical scrolls would be a parent of the horizontal and the vertical components, as I showed on the prototyping part. After we make the template designs, how to edit inside our websites. Once you are done with the template designs, you can get the like you have to code it out. You have to check for the specifications like the pixels, or you can talk about the margins and everything. You have to check the designs and you have to code it accordingly. You can't just directly copy paste the designs into your website. The elements like the images and the icons could be downloaded and then used, but you have to code it like this is the frame of reference, and then you have to code it on your website. No, it's not necessary to learn Adobe when you know Figma. So it's a choice. Learn Adobe or Figma. It's up to you. Okay, so on Slido, the first question is, please tell me something about Ajax. Okay, so Ajax is a synchronous JavaScript library. It's used to be a very old library out there for the JavaScript. Uh, when we used to do our development in JavaScript, there were more than functionalities like on Windows pop-up, on Windows reload, or something. So Ajax is a library which is a combination of different behaviors of a website or the document events, which help us to do the or handle the behaviors accordingly, right? Like we have a library out there, Bootstrap, for CSS, similarly, which has a different classes like grid, flex, and rows, column, which helps us out to write CSS more efficiently. Similarly, we have Ajax, which helps us out to write the JavaScript more efficiently. It has predefined functions. Some of the I would say Ajax popular functions are there, like for event, we have on window reload, or when it go gets on event click, or the on button click, or something like that. Okay. Uh, Now we will talk. We have another question, which is uh, okay, more about Ajax. Ajax is being not no now is not being used so much because we have React, Angular, which is being replaced, because generally Ajax was used to handle the behavior on the front end side from the user. So we have now more evolved frameworks and libraries like React and Angular. So I won't suggest you to learn Ajax now, but yeah, it's being older and it's not so popular nowadays. Okay. How can we use the wireframe and prototype in web development project? Okay, see, to give yourself a idea about what you are going to develop before developing it, putting your thoughts, how your website looks like. I would say start with a wireframe. Okay. Don't go to the prototyping phase, but yeah, start with a wireframe where you're going to put the nav bars, where you're going to put the images, where you're going to put the register button, what all boxes will be there in the register button or the register page or something. So create your wireframe first. So you know what you are going to create, because now you have a reference to create. It's not going to take a lot of your time, and then get started with the design, so you have something to refer and see what you're going to make at the end of the day after coding. Because many times it happens when we don't have a design or we don't have a reference to see what you are going to create, we might get confused, we might not get the expected result out there. So create it what you want first, like design it, draw it on the paper. It's just a drawing what you want out of a website or application, and then start coding out it. Okay. uh, Now the next question is, I really need to learn Figma completely for my website design. See, you don't have to learn the Figma completely, means end to end, each and every elements or the tools, like the functions provided by Figma, but I would suggest to learn basics like what is the templates, what's the design, what are the layouts, how to add the animations, how to make a margin, how to copy paste a screen size, create different screens out there in the Figma, which is going to help you in the website design. And later on, as the requirement comes, then you can start learning on the new functionalities provided by the Figma. Okay. One thing, one of the questions just someone asked, like horizontal scrolling and a vertical scrolling, just as I showed you in the prototyping. So someone wants to apply it on its Figma design while presenting it. So you can learn out there how to make a scroll or vertical scroll and then go ahead. So this is how, when the requirement comes, let's just start with the basics, learn the key components or the key features of Figma, and then get started with your project. Uh, Someone is asking about the IBM internship form. CSRBOX will be team will help you out in that case. Okay.
Students, we will be posting all the things over your WhatsApp groups.
Sure. I already answered about Ajax. Sure, we'll share the prototype link with you all. Give me a minute. Anyone with the link can view. Copy the link. I've copied and pasted it over the chat. So someone asked for the Figma design prototyping link. I have pasted over the chat, and this can be visible to everyone. Okay. Let's go ahead with the other questions. See, UI and UX basics are important to, someone is asking UI and UX important to learn as a front-end developer. Yep, it's important because you should know while developing. See, every job responsibility or every project doesn't have a particular dedicated UI UX developer. So once you know basics of UI UX development, you know how to perform or react with the button, what should be the basic color theme, and how, where to put the nav bar, side nav bar. These are the UX skills or UI skills which are very important. And it's as a front end developer, uh, you can create a career out of dedicated career out of UI UX, where you create a whole prototype for a website or something. But the basics of UI UX, what should be the footer should be there, what all icons should be there in the footer, what should be the container size, all these things are required as a UI UX or as a front end developer. So basic components are should be, you should learn about the UI UX. Okay, the basics, like how should be the font size, what should be the minimum font size which a user can see, because we have different users for a website. We might have a user with a weaker eyesight, one with the abled with the hearing, one with the only abled with the sight seeing. So you have to think all about and keep those users also in your mind while you're creating the website, right? So it's basics are important when you talk about the front end developer. If you don't know the button should have a border or something, what is the container, how your uh, should you combine your website in a single line or not, it's you are going to make a whole whole random things if you don't know the basics of UI UX. So it's very important. uh Wireframes and prototypes are different. Someone asked, wireframes are prototypes are different. Yes, wireframes are just basic representation, basic thoughts on a paper with a black and white ink, and the prototyping is a similar representation of your application. uh Figma, this it gives you a design page, like this gives a page or a sheet Figma provides. The question is, wireframe and prototyping in Figma are different. You can create wireframe or prototype both in Figma. It gives you a page, like it's just a sketch pad when you get a drawing book, and you can draw it on it. So you can create a wireframe, also you can create a prototype. Okay. Someone wants to create a logo for their website. You can go to the logo maker. It's a free website out there. Or I think another free logo making website is uh, a logo. The website is itself called logo, so you can go and create your logo from the logo website. Uh, how to get your resume should sort out for others for UI UX designer position? What your small projects should be added? Okay, someone is asking for how to get the shortlisted for UI UX positions. See, let's say you are uh, putting up your resume for the Google, Microsoft, or Flipkart. Create a your resume in the form of their theme, like you for say Google. Google has a search box, so create a resume where someone search for your name and shows a detail on the sidebar. Let's say, let me show you a search for. Give me a mm, person, like famous person's name on the chat. Elon Musk. Yeah, I like that name. Say Elon Musk. Okay, so as you can see, there come some photos of the Elon Musk videos, relationship songs. Someone is talking how to create a UI UX project for their resume or something. Create a resume in a such format for a Google or Google format. Uh, you can put up your name over here. These are the different things like your education, your professional experience, your products, or your certifications. So these come up. You can put up some links or the images of your products or something like that. Here you can go about you as it seems on your website, the small descriptions, the key points, key highlights. Over here you can put up the experiences, projects, and everything. And whenever someone clicks on the video, don't change everything, just update the down button, like the downside area. So this is the project you can create for your UI UX. And another thing, whenever you create a project, host it over somewhere like on Netlify or something, so that uh, okay, yeah, I was saying something. So that user or the recruiter come up to your website or the resume website and see what you're asking for, what you're intended to show to them. Okay, so this shows your skills and also represents your resume. So this is one of the example. You can choose any website. There's more good designed website is CRED. See the CRED logos and the design. It's awesome. So, go check out the CRED app or the CRED website. It's good. How to get your resume thing? I think how can we add a prototype to our website? Uh, I'm not sure what your question means. So use UX to create an idea, prototype design, and then we can code it front end. Yes, you can UI UX create a exactly this is what UI UX design is. Create a prototype idea of your design and then code it. So you know what you're creating at the first. Which is the best is website for beginners? To learn or to explore things. I'm not sure what someone is asked which is the best website for a beginners. To learn, there are many websites out there. We have like we do provide IBM code out there. Apart from that, we have free code camp, Web3 schools to learn the basics out there. And for JavaScript to learn, we have MDN Mozilla Development Networks, MDN blogs and something. Okay. Uh, I want to create a logo. I suggested a free website. Let me put up the name. It says, okay, to create a best website for beginner to create. As a copy of some website, I would suggest you to create a Flipkart or Amazon replica, because it has many pages in it. We have cart, we have addresses, we have a user's profile, you have products page, a products listing page. So create an e-commerce website as a fresh beginner, so you can learn multiple designing and multiple skills out when you're creating an e-commerce website. Okay. uh, I was saying logo.com. Generally, I take e-commerce website more on my examples. The reason being, let me see. Okay. The reason being, because it covers many concepts out there, like adding to cart, going to cart, a cart page, address page, and everything. So that's my main reason of including e-commerce a lot in my examples. Uh, Someone is asking how to show their UI UX works to others. That's a good question. Create a website, create a portfolio website. Portfolio website means creating your own website where you put up a name, what all projects you have put in up. As I provided the prototyping link, you can create those designs, UI UX work I'm talking about. Create your designs, put it up on the internet to that can be visible to everyone. Put those links on your portfolio website, so anyone visits your portfolio website can go and visit the links which you have created. So this is the best means in nowadays. Whenever you create a LinkedIn or any social media accounts, put up your like the portfolio website link, your personal website link, to showcase your work. Okay. uh, if you're talking about free hosting, uh, 000 web host is one of it, but if you want to host it directly, you can host it on Netlify if you have a React, Angular, or front-end project. For the backend project, you can host it on Vercel backend projects. So depends upon you, but I would suggest to go with the Netlify and the Vercel option. And if anyone has like, let's say if you have a debit credit card or something, you can go on the GCP Google Cloud Platform. They provide $300 free credit. You can run up an instance. In that case, you have to get a basic knowledge about your uh, virtual machines and creating an instance. But to skip all that hassle, means you can learn it about the cloud platform. That's a good thing. To skip that all hassle, you can create using the Netlify. Okay, and one thing more, there's an option of GitHub pages. If you have a altogether static website which doesn't require any backend or something, you can host it on GitHub pages. It's free of cost. You push it on a GitHub, enable the GitHub pages, and it's working on GitHub. We'll put up a GitHub pages setup link on the chat. You can go ahead and use that. Okay, let's go to our next question. Media query thing I have responded, means the beginners website to create free logos, prototyping. Okay, we have another questions out there. Can you suggest a completely working website? Which language is better? And PHP no using HTML, CSS, or React using Node.js. Okay. PHP has its framework called Laravel. It's not so much popular nowadays. Uh, See, PHP is easy to learn, but the thing is, when you learn about the basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript for your website, for your front-end development, it's easy to move to React or JavaScript frameworks like React.js, uh, AngularJS, Vue.js, White or something, because you already know the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript beforehand, right? So I would suggest go with the React, and it's widely used in the industry also. PHP is not so much popular because there are many feature limitations out there, like the session, the local storage, creating a means, and the community out there, the support of the community out there. So there's many restrictions over the PHP. So React, JavaScript frameworks are used altogether in a more by the more companies. So I would suggest go with the React.js or AngularJS. Okay, if you already know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, go with the React.js framework called Next Next.js. Okay, we'll put up the link of the Next.js in the website, which is based on the React. Go learn React.js and then learn the Next.js. I hope I was able to take all the questions. If not, I'm putting up the Slido links once more. Whoever wasn't able to click that link, will take 2 to 3 questions more if you have any. Uh, yep, Ajax do have security issues. Uh, you are particularly talking about. I don't have the list right now, but the thing is, it's altogether are older technologies. Okay, it has first of all, the loop is inside the session management. The way it manages a session of a user means the access tokens, the private tokens, it's not all secure in the Ajax, because the way it interacts or sends the data over the server. uh, in the past few years, there has been a lot of bugs identified and vulnerabilities are listed over the internet. You can just simply search for securities issue with Java Ajax, and you will get a list of it. Okay, so that's one thing. But yeah, there are securities issues with Java Ajax, and one is, I just remembered, is session one. So which is very important when we are on your machines, because session tokens are one thing which helps you to interact with the main server of a website and your browser. So that's one thing. uh React.js, Next.js, what next after? Okay, uh React.js is a library, Next.js is a framework. Then to create a website using the Next.js, there's lots of uh components to learn in the Next.js, like routing, dynamic content loading, everything. Uh, Once you are done with the React.js and Next.js, so you know the front end part, I would suggest create your backend and learn about the Node.js, Express.js, and a database might be a MongoDB, MySQL, or Postgres. Choose any one of it. Connecting it with the backend and making an API to call it from the front end to the backend. So that's one thing which will complete your full stack development. As I shared this similar website called roadmap.sh in the previous class also, and in this class I'm also going to share it, which will help you out to figure out a roadmap for your full stack development. Okay. Another question I have, do I need backend development to create chat box on my website? Chat box, by you mean the pop-up which shows on the right hand side. For that, you don't need a backend development, because there are uh, services available for free. One is Parrot, another is Tulio, or I'm missing its name, Tidio, Tidio, Tidio. And there are more of the services for the chat box, which can help you. It's free, and this it's a plugin. It provides a link, put it in a website, and the chat box is up. So you don't need to create a backend for that. It's free services out there available. What are the components need to build an API? to components needed to build an API are, first of all, you should technologies you should know Node.js, JavaScript, library, library you should be familiar with should be Express.js. You should know the about the APIs, like the different type of APIs, get, put, post. You should know about the parameters like headers. Thirdly, you should know about the request and response objects. Fourth thing, you should know how to handle means JSON content, how to send it and get the JSON values. So basically, you should know about the basics of the APIs, and then you can go ahead, learn about a library. Express is one, Axios is Express.js is one. Next.js is a framework, NEST. This time I'm talking about Nest.js, NEST. Okay, and you can go ahead and learn about the APIs in backend. Can we use PHP and MySQL for backend? Yes, you can. Obviously, you can. PHP is a server-side technology, and MySQL is a database, so you can use it as well if you already know it. Uh, I guess that sums up for our session today. You have been a great audience. Thank you for having me here. Back to you, CSRBOX team.
Thank you so much, sir, for conducting such a wonderful session and detailed oriented step-by-step masterclass session. I hope students, you must have thoroughly enjoyed the session as much as we have, and hope this session brought most of the clarity and resolved your queries related to the internship program. So once again, thank you so much, Larissa, and thank you students for joining in today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Bye. Happy learning.
Thank you, sir. All the best, students. You can drop off.